everyone, my name is Seth Stroud, and I will be presenting today over the Nashville Sports Council. So the location of the Nashville Sports Council is at 414 Union Street, Suite 1010 in Nashville, Tennessee. The contact information is actually 615-743-3120. That's how you reach them by phone. They also have the email that is demonstrated on the screen. And then I've also copy and pasted the website link to allow access to view everything on their website. And to the left here is actually the Nashville Sports Council's image that they use for almost every single event that they plan. So I have written at the bottom here the purpose of the commission. Pretty much this is their statement, I guess you would say, like their mission statement. And it stood out to me the most for sure. And it says, to positively impact the economy and quality of life of the greater Nashville area. So basically, I guess you can see at the top too that they like to consider themselves as the driving force of sports in Nashville. And what's crazy is they actually try to attract and promote professional and amateur sporting events inside the city. So they really just do a lot. They do fun stuff, which we'll get into later. They do more serious stuff. But their purpose of their commission, I guess you would say, would I guess be to try to get not only the community more fit, but also just together, trying to get it friendly, trying to get competitive with it, because I guess they believe that that if you're getting fit and you're having interaction with people at the same time, then everything will pretty much work out in the end for you. So a little bit of the historical background. Pretty much they were just discussing how great the Nashville, I guess, city is for the sports council. So it starts off with them kind of discussing a little bit about country music. They actually talked about how the Houston Oilers at the time called them in 1997 about relocating to Nashville and building a new stadium, and talked about the Tennessee Titans a little bit. They talked about how the Nashville Predators got called up and introduced in 1997 as well. They also even dove into a little bit about the Nashville Sounds, and this kind of just all goes to show it doesn't really tie in with the Nashville Sports Council, but at the same time it really does, because actually Scott Ramsey, he's the CEO, which we'll talk about a little bit in the next slide. He actually kind of ties all these teams to the success of the Nashville Sports Council. So at the time, we really didn't have sports in Nashville. And with the relocation of the Titans and the Predators and the addition of the Sounds, it really made the city of Nashville just really expand and really get everyone's interest into sports. Which at the end of the day, that's the main goal for the Nashville Sports Council, is to get people into sports. Because if they don't have people that love sports, then their business obviously won't thrive. They even kind of talked about the new MLS team that's coming to town. They didn't have much information on them, but they did kind of deliver how soccer is starting to get a little bit bigger with the Sports Council, and just some historical background stuff on the National Sports Council. It was actually founded in 1992. And like I said, their mission was pretty much to positively impact the economy and quality of life of the greater Nashville area by attracting and promoting professional and amateur sporting events. And actually, over the years, the Sports Council has worked to recruit nearly 200 events to the city of Nashville, which has resulted in over $800 million in direct economic impact. That's an outstanding amount of money, and Nashville Sports Council is, from what I know from being back home, it's really taken off, and we can dive into what they do and their events a little bit more in the next few slides. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to introduce Scott Ramsey. He's the CEO and he's the president of the Nashville Sports Council. He's pretty much the head honcho of the group. He makes all the decisions. Everything runs through him. But he has a great team following him, which I'd like to discuss. I didn't actually put them on the screen, but I'm going to go over every single person that actually works for the Nashville Sports Council and every single person that has an impact on the success that they bring to the city itself. So after Scott, We have Jay Grider. He's actually the vice president and the events and operations manager. Then after him, it's Carly Ramsey. She is an event manager. And then we have Rachel Schuckert, and she is also an event manager. And they only have two event managers, which obviously I know might seem a little slim, but they said that that's really all they need. So Joseph Donaldson is next, and he's actually the only event coordinator that they have. And then after all of those, it gets into more of their marketing and their development, I guess, of the council. We have Todd Hefner. He's the COO and the Business Development and Strategic Partnerships. Then we have Colin Montmarnarco. He is the Development Coordinator. And then we have Lauren Chatu. She does the digital marketing for the council. And then after that, we have Casey Cooper, who is the Public Relations Coordinator. And after that, we have Erica Roberts, who's the Sales and Sponsorship Coordinator. And then kind of after that, we dive into the finance and the administration portion of the Sports Council. We have Scott McGilberry, who's the Vice President of Finance and Administration. So he's pretty much, I guess, the top guy in the finance department, you could say. But he still has to run through Scott on pretty much all decision making. Then after that, we have Cooper Fazia, who's the Director of Tickets. And then finally, we have Ash Elkins, who's the Office Manager. And I kind of read those in order to you because that's also the structure of how things work. Obviously, the last name I said was the last from the hierarchy. So she has, I guess, what you would say, the least say in everything. And then Scott Ramsey, who's the CEO and president, was at the top, and he pretty much has all the say, and everyone has to go through him. So I read those in order to y'all where you could kind of see the chart and who actually has the most say in the sports council. So here I've listed kind of some overview activities of what the National Sports Council does. Not going to spend too much time on these, but you can see on the screen that apparently the most common one's the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. It's hosted every single year. This is just a bowl game that Nashville hosts that's been hosting since I can remember. They switched the name up a few times, but it's always been known as the Music City Bowl there at the end. Um, we did host the 2016 NHL All-Star Game. Everyone who's familiar with hockey knows that these were the best players in the world come to play, and that was a really cool experience to witness. We hosted the 2014 Women's NCAA Final Four. That's where the four best teams were in the where I guess the roundabout, and that was a pretty cool experience. I know there was a lot of people in Nashville at that time. We host the NCAA March Madness first and second rounds pretty commonly, so that's nothing really new. We always do the SEC women's basketball tournament and always the SEC men's basketball tournaments. And there at the bottom, I just wanted to show y'all that we do a Nashville Sounds kickball tournament. So we do have things like that where the Sounds players will come, but also fans will come and they'll participate in a big kickball tournament. And they do many more activities. They do a Tennessee Titans luncheon. They even do a National Sports Council concert for any of the members of the group that are playing. They do all sorts of stuff. They do a marathon for the members. Pretty much the whole Nashville Sports Council, all the activities they do is either for fun or it's more real life stuff like you're seeing on this sheet here. So here I've done the SWOT analysis of the Nashville Sports Council, and we'll dive right into it. So some strengths of theirs are that they actually get the community really involved. They get them a little bit healthier. They get them a little bit more fit, more friends. The more they communicate with people, the better connections they have. They have an outstanding reputation in the community, and they also do things the right way. I've never once heard one bad thing about the Sports Council. So that's a really good thing on their part. Some weaknesses of theirs is that it's actually difficult to find their member sign up. It's very hard. I guess some people wouldn't even know that you can have members without getting on their page and scrolling to the bottom. So, and also a lot of their events are midweek, which is very hard on people because after a long day of work, people really don't want to go play kickball from 5 to 7. And it's also very hard to get on staff there, but we'll dive into that a little bit in the next slide. And some opportunities of theirs is that they actually they have the opportunity to hire more people on staff. Whether they do that or not is up to them, but they do have the ability to do that. And they also have the ability, the opportunity to make their brand a little bit stronger. They can post a little bit more. I know that not a lot of people even know about the National Sports Council, so if they posted their brand a little bit harder on signs, then maybe they would get a little bit more participation in that direction. And then also, I know the new MLB team is being discussed about coming to Nashville, and I know that the Nashville Sports Council could have a big impact not only on the team relocating, but also the destination of where that team's stadium could be at. And some threats of theirs would be rival competitors. There's not many. And also the members itself. They need members to have a sports council. So without members, they're basically nothing. And also the weather. If the weather's pretty bad, then a lot of their events get canceled or moved. So that can be uh, a big no for the threat portion of that. So we talked about securing a job in this slide, and just want to go ahead and say it's not very easy at all. I knew somebody that actually interned with them, which we'll get in the next slide, but they actually interned with National Sports Council, and they didn't even have any positions open for her following her 6 month internship, and they told her that basically they didn't know if they would have one in the upcoming years for her. So it is very hard to secure a job there. If you don't know anybody, then most likely your chances of getting a job there are very slim unless they contact you first. All right, I really didn't know anybody that worked at Nashville Sports Council, so I interviewed an intern that I knew from there. And basically, she said the work environment was great. The hours were outstanding. I think she said they worked from 9:30 to like 4 o'clock every day, which is unheard of in today's world. She said the events were really fun. She said they're sponsored by Bud Light, so they're at every event. She said the atmosphere was also great. She said the participants were great. She said the weather really never played a factor while she was there because they moved events from one location to another. Um, all in all, she basically said that it was a great place to work for and pretty much wishes she had the opportunity to be there full time. So I only used one resource for this entire thing, which was the National Sports Council's page. It gave me all the information I needed, and then this picture here is just kind of a little picture of Broadway on Nashville, in case anyone wanted to see kind of what it looked like and what the scene of Nashville was all about.